Dear Honourable Speaker of the Committee representing the Pyidaungsu Hluttaw, Mr. Aung Ki Nyunt, I am very honoured by this opportunity to speak today in this opening session of the plenary session of the Committee representing the Pyidaungsu Hluttaw. I would like to start commending the people of Myanmar. It's been remarkable to witness this unyielding resistance of the people for 2 long years against the military junta. This junta egregiously disrespected the elections. For 2 years, the world has witnessed an unprecedented coming together of each and every part of the Myanmar people. Never before has there been such a large unified front to fight against the terrorist activities of the military. The new generation in Myanmar has played a major role. What the military has given rise to is unyielding determination, unity and perseverance of the Myanmarese people in fighting against the junta and its unlawful coup. The role of the military should be to protect, to serve the people. Its place is in the barracks, in service of the people and their democratically elected government. There is no sustainable alternative to this. The CRPH and the National Unity Government have been faced with an enormous task. They have set up interim institutions for the people in an incredibly difficult environment. Yet, this work has been done and it's continuing. It's crucial work for providing direction and setting the stepping stones towards the restoration of democracy. The CRPH deserves all the support of fellow parliaments and parliamentarians across the globe. We in the European Parliament have stood beside the CRPH. We will continue to do so, and we are also ready to step up our efforts. Dear Mr. Speaker, the European Parliament has also a clear and continued stance on the legitimate government of Myanmar, which it continues to reiterate. I would like to commend the important steps taken with regards to international commitments by the National Unity Government. The announcement a year ago by the NUG of Myanmar accepting the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court in the case of the alleged genocide of Rohingyas in 2016 to 2017 was an important step. And last month, in December 2022, in turn, the NUG announced its commitment to ratifying the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights with its 2 additional protocols. Upholding the international human rights standards will be a solid foundation for the future inclusive Myanmar. A new democratic federal Myanmar can only be built on a solid foundation of inclusiveness, on upholding human rights standards, and on conscious efforts at building and solidifying mutual trust in society. In the years to come, when the situation finally will allow for genuine constitutional elections to be organized, ending this interim period, inclusion, minority participation, and the recognition of citizenship according to international standards will be key. Commitments and actions on this need to be taken now. This, I believe, the NUG has well understood. The International Parliamentary Inquiry into the global response to the crisis in Myanmar was launched in early 2022. In the course of the year, the IPI heard from numerous witnesses and experts. Clear conclusions could be drawn. The support given by the international community has not lived up to its potential. As the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently stated, the international community has failed Myanmar. Well-coordinated and strong measures by the international community are needed to ensure a full isolation of the junta. Its revenue flow has to be effectively cut, and an arms embargo, including dual-use items, needs to be established and effectively implemented. In its review of the 5-point consensus, the ASEAN included a step to engage all stakeholders in the implementation of the consensus. This is a moment for the international community to step up its role. At the same time, the democratic forces in Myanmar need support in their enormous task of steering the country. Support in capacity building for operating a civilian administration, as well as external support for mutual trust building, are direly needed. This is clearly an endeavor where the European Union and its member states have a lot to offer. And very importantly, I want to state that the sham electoral exercise being now prepared by the military junta is only suited for bringing about a new wave of heightened bloodshed and violence. In a situation where the country currently is, without a valid constitution, this exercise is simply without a basis. Unfortunately, examples abound in this world for drawing inspiration and long-term vision for non-competitive sham election exercises like this one. The International Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, the IIMM, has been tirelessly collecting evidence, also on atrocities committed after the 2021 coup. And I reiterate the call on all members of the international community to cooperate closely with the IIMM and with the CRPH, the NUG and the NUCC, in order to enable the recourse to legal action and the achievement of accountability for those responsible for atrocities. A very concrete step on this way would be to provide protection to the eyewitnesses. We are with you, and I wish you all the best to your endeavors in this session of the Pyidaungsu Hluttaw. Thank you very much for your attention.